Hi, welcome. In today's video, we're going to talk about 10 important tips you need to know before you travel to Italy. If you stick till the end of the video, I'm going to give you an extra bonus. Okay, let's start. First thing, planning where you're supposed to go and how long you're going to stay. Italy, even though is geographically a small country, has so many options that you start from, of course, the most famous cities in the world: Rome, Florence, Venice, and Amalfi Coast, Cinque Terre, and so on. You can go sightseeing, you can go on hills, just enjoy vineyards or B&Bs, or you can go skiing on the Alps, or you can enjoy beaches in Sardinia, in Puglia, in Sicilia. So you can really have so many options. And even though it looks like a small country, I want to say it takes time to travel one place to another, and there are so many things to do. So please don't overplan. Just stay in few cities and enjoy the time there. Otherwise, like many people I know, you're going to spend so much time traveling one place to another, and flights are not always the best solution. So first thing, where you want to go, what you want to do, and how long you're going to stay. Point number 2, your passport. Before booking, it's mandatory to have a passport, because to go to Italy is not necessary a visa, but you really need a valid passport. Make sure that from the day of your trip to the day you come back, you still have extra 6 months on your passport. Point number 3, finally, book hotel and flight. Based on the season, it's totally different the price. You can go on very cheap flights and hotels during a low season that can be October, November through March, to super expensive if you go close to August. And actually, my suggestion is not book anything in August. August is the Italians' month of vacation. All the Italians go on vacation in August. So often the cities are kind of deserts, museums are not open, and restaurants are closed, and so many other very important places that maybe you want to visit. So if you really want to go in August, make sure that the place you want to go is open. Just send an email or try to find online information, or write me in the comment below, and I can try to answer all your questions about it. I was almost forgetting to tell you, the best moment to book the flight, the cheapest moment actually, is within 6 months. And if it's possible, try to book from the major cities. You will save a lot of time between connections. Point number 4, always still related with the flights. Many of you, they travel with a pet, and it's awesome, but make sure, give yourself more time to look for the flight, because travel with a pet, you need more documents, you need proof of vaccination, proof that your ownership, the microchip, and at the same time, no many flights allow more than a pet per flight, maximum 2, so that will be really complicated to find the flight. Point number 5. Let's talk about cell phone provider. When you leave from United States, you have to make sure that your phone is working in Italy. It happened to me that I had a prepaid plan and I landed in Italy and the phone was totally dead. Okay, so my suggestion is check before you leave, and check if you have to add or buy or subscribe a particular kind of plan, and how much is it, because sometimes they're really expensive. As alternative, if your provider does not give you any solution, you can easily add an eSIM with a different plan that is just for a little while. Unfortunately, there's no option to download an Italian plan as a eSIM right now. If you still have an old phone, not the last generation, you can consider to buy a SIM card when you land in Italy. I suggest Iliad. You have 150 gigabyte of internet and phone calls to United States and Canada for less than $10 a month. Absolutely crazy cheap. Um, Remember, you need to have an old phone for that because eSIM is still not working in Italy. Okay. I leave the link of Iliad in the description, so in case you need, you can check where they have the closest shop where you land. Point number 6, power and chargers. Outlets in Italy are totally different from United States, and the power is 220, is not 110. So make sure before you leaving to buy an outlet adapter. I would suggest an international adapter. You find the link in the description, the one that I use when I travel back and forth. Very important thing, please check on your charger or your phone charger, the little charger, especially if you have a computer, that is compatible with 220. Nowadays, I would say 99% of the computers, cameras, and phones, they have compatible for the both kind of power, 110 or 220. But please make sure, because you don't want to risk to ruin your equipment when you arrive in Italy and you have to recharge it. My suggestion is to bring with you a power cord with several outlets. That will make your life easier. We have arrived at tip number 7. Driver license. If you need to drive in Italy, super easy. It's not a complicated process. The only thing, you have to apply for an international driver license. AAA, I think, charge like around $20 for give you an international driver license. They do everything for you, so I think it's absolutely worth it. Point number 8. Rent a car. Rent a car is a very easy process. You can do it online from United States. When you book your travel, usually there is some kind of agreement. When you book the flight and the hotel, you can have some discount for the car. Most important thing, make sure that, like European laws says, the insurance is included. Okay, in Italy, all the cars must have a very high insurance included. If for any reason they didn't give it to you because they follow American law that you have to add and pay extra, as soon as you landed at the airport, stop at the agency and ask to fix the problem with the insurance. Consider that a basic insurance in Italy is over $1 million with no extra charge. Point number 9, currency. In Italy, like all over the European Union, we have euros. Okay, very easy. Euros and dollars, they go up and down, but basically, as a rule of thumb, $1 is €1. They're very, very similar. My suggestion is get some cash. Before you leave United States, bring some cash with you. I would say $500 is a great amount. You don't have to use all the cash, but there are so many little stores in Italy, especially in small towns, in these little villages in the country, that they accept credit card only for values over $10. So I would say better going with some cash, and especially if you want to just get an espresso or something, you will need only $1. That would be complicated for Italians. Just accept a credit card for only $1. Sorry, €1. That is, as I said, absolutely the same value. Tip number 10, taxes. Okay, very important thing. Taxes are always included. Okay, any bill, check, receipt you have, taxes are included in the total amount. Maybe are separate voice by voice, often they are, but the total amount is taxes included. So if somebody tells you, oh, it's $10 plus taxes, he's trying to get more money from you. If you're in a restaurant, tips are not required, is not mandatory. Of course, a little tip is always nice and everybody that would appreciate, but is not mandatory, is not required. Thank you to being here till now. Here your bonus tip. Let's talk about packing. Okay, first thing to know is when you go to Italy, summer or winter, and if you go north or south. Those are components very important. Consider that during the winter in the north, it's easily 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 Celsius, and it's snowing most of the time. While in the south, the temperature is still mild, so you can have around 50, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little bit higher, but consider that is a totally different kind of packing. During the summer, there's not that much different. Actually, during the summer, the temperature are all over the country very high, very humid as well. So I suggest to pack very, very light. So let's see how packing, especially during the summer. Bring with you short pants, very light pants, at least 2 pair of very, very comfortable running shoes. I'm saying that because everywhere you go, you will find cobblestones and steps and complicated streets because many of our streets are ancient. So my suggestion is going very comfy. Personally, I prefer running shoes instead of flip-flop. Uh, Short pants, perfect. I would get maybe a pair of jeans or something long for the night. If you're a lady, a nice light dress could be very comfy. One important thing that you need to consider is, especially if you go to Rome or Florence, everywhere there is a very big and famous church, so basically any main city in Italy, you need to bring something with you to cover your shoulders and your legs. Otherwise, you won't be allowed to get in the church. And especially if you go to Vatican City, that would be a shame that you cannot see the Sixtine Chapel. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any question, any suggestion, please comment below. I need your opinion. I need to know what you want to know about Italy. That is my country where I grew up. Now I live in the United States. I love both of the two worlds. So I really want to help you to spend the best vacation ever in Italy. Thank you. Ciao.